day to you all, and welcome to the broadcast. It is a rainy day today. However, still a beautiful day to be alive. To returning viewers, welcome back. To new viewers, welcome. On tap today, we're the Blue Dots. Got the mulching head warming up. Gonna exercise all the hydraulics, get the fluid warm. We just filled up with fuel. Continuing on with what we were doing yesterday. If I can get where y'all can see. We cleared from up there down about 20 feet further. So we're going to continue on with this area. Hopefully I can get you guys mounted up to where you're not looking through a bunch of water droplets. Now the hardest part about today will be getting up this little bank to get up to the flat area where I need to actually work at. So we'll just have to find us a good spot or the best spot to climb up. Luckily, since we've been mulching and not clearing, there's a good bed of chips. Good bed of chips to climb up onto. Let's go find a spot here. Right here is actually the steepest little bank, but I've got the best chance of being able to lift myself up on it, spin around, and push myself up if need be. Let's hope need not be. Just climb straight up. Well, in theory, we'll just climb straight up. What I don't want is to let those tracks slip, because as soon as they slip, that's where your problems start. Alright, let's creep on up. Go nice and easy, keep low torque on those tracks. Nice. I'm right up there. You can see I'm looking straight down at the road, so that indicates to you how steep it actually was. Let's ease on over here and get the mulching. Good morning, Mr. Skid Steer. You'll not be working today. I don't use that skid steer a lot since I've had it, but when I do use it, it's necessary. I've got to have it. We're starting back down the hill here. If it starts getting really soft and I start leaving really deep track imprints, we'll just call it a day. I just want to show y'all how pretty of a mat of chips and leaves that leaves. I made it funny. Well, let's begin. As I've said many times, I actually do prefer mulching in the rain. That fluid's cold this morning, isn't it? Get that fluid good and hot. That way you guys don't have to listen to that annoying sound. The fluid is having trouble getting warmed up. We're only about 25% of the way, but you can see we made some pretty good ground right there where that muddy spot is. It's where we started at actually, correction. That muddy spot's where we started. So we've cleared all this little area in here. starting to get down toward where we piled all of that. All those pine limbs from that pine tree we took down a few days ago. We're just going to mulch those limbs up. Continue working our way down. Hopefully some people find this little series of mulching fun to watch. But that's just how it goes. You got to take the boring jobs with the fun jobs. People don't have to watch every one of these videos. Me, I can't stand watching this kind of stuff. It's too much fun actually doing it. I don't typically like watching other people do it. I dig it for Davin. He makes entertaining videos with mulching. I like watching him work. He's just got a method to the way that he edits and how he films it, or records, I guess. It's not really film anymore. Film went out in the 90s, I guess. At least the rain has stopped for now. I'll be able to mount you guys right there shortly after the water droplets dry up off the screen. Maybe you'll be able to see a little bit better. As low as I can. The part of the stump that's underground or in dirt will rot away the quickest. So anything left sticking above ground could dry out and potentially last a little longer. Like how those tops just kind of usually drop straight down. Usually makes getting a hold of them a little easier. Yeah, it's getting warmed up now. She's gonna eat. It's almost like putting dry food into a blender, but if you put some, like say you put dry lettuce into a blender, yeah, it's going to chew it up, but if you put some water in there with it, it's going to really chew it up. So I'm going to get that top to go in there. No, it's just too sharp. Sometimes that head, when it's real sharp, it cuts and doesn't want to pull stuff in as good. This is okay. Stem's got a knot on it. I figured it'd give it a little more trouble. There's a fine line between chewing something too fast, like dropping the head too fast, and then going so slow that it doesn't want to do good either. See, that top is so soft. It didn't want to feed. In every mulching video, I'll make the point that when you cut a top loose, you want the top to fall inverted, where there's a little sharp point sticking up, and you can just drop the head on it, and it'll suck it in usually. For me, it's more entertaining than anything to watch it suck it in. See a little blue sky over there. I don't know what the temperature is supposed to get up to today. Let's see what we can do with this little pile of pine choppings. See if y'all can see good. Yeah, I believe y'all can. Anyway, with a pile of clippings pretty quick. Anything that gets kicked out or doesn't mulch real good, I'll just push back into a pile. So we got about 10 pine trees, full grown pine trees up there that we now got to get rid of. That'll make a really good video. That'll be fun. Got a road build coming up. See, under those chips is some unmulched limbs that are hard to get to. You almost have to be able to stir the pile. Catch up. We had that thing real hot yesterday. It was really cutting good. You can get that needle about 3/4 of the way to the red on the temperature gauge for the hydraulic fluid. That thing is screaming in a good way. Let's get back over here. Strip this poplar of its dignity. Let's try to get that top to go inverted. So we just cut him loose a little bit. There's, well, one top came out. I didn't realize there was two on the back side. Let's just push him over. Hopefully it'll break loose. Come on. Break loose. There he goes. Now let's see if it'll feed. It's almost not inverted enough. No, missed it. That was my error. Let's try again. I don't know if y'all can see it, but there's two little saplings, one right behind the other right there, putting up a fight. I don't know if I said it in previous videos, but we did get the F750 sold to a viewer, which I'm excited about. I'm glad that it's going to somebody that has watched the truck work and seen the good, the bad, the ugly. The sky is getting lighter. See all those extra limbs hid under there. That's why you gotta be careful, because you'll leave a bunch of stuff left behind for mice to bed up in, cause your customer problems. And we don't like problems, do we? Now, I'm not going to level up because it's easier to do the work closer to the ground. Had a viewer comment, it's been a couple of videos. I'm gonna start trying to kindly on camera respond to comments. They asked if I was okay. I seemed sad or down or something. I'm not sad. I've got an 8-month-old baby in the house. I'm tired. I am tired. But you know what? They're only little for a little while. You don't want to wish it away. But I won't deny. I am not made to get up at night. I do not do well with it. I'm lazy. I like to sleep. And I'm not ashamed of it. But no, I'm not sad. I'm actually happier than I've been in a long time. Of course, I've always been happy. I think going back to kind of the roots of my business and just working by myself has helped me greatly. Having employees for people can be a good thing, but just not for me. Too much to keep track of. And I'm ready to semi-retire. To me, this is fun. This ain't even work. I enjoy doing this. And I'm only going to take jobs that I know I'm going to enjoy. I'm not going to take jobs just because they pay a lot anymore. I'm glad to be cut back. I started early this morning. I got out the door from the house about 7:30. I kind of adopted sticking around the house till about 8:30 of the morning. Let Kelly sleep. We've been fortunate to have a couple of nannies coming to watch Sophie during the daytime. They get there and I go to work, and I start trying to wind down about 3 o'clock. Well, last night I went to bed when Sophie went to bed. I guess it's probably about 8 o'clock. I was beat. That's pretty good for this location. I'm kind of trying to pull a line down from where I think her view from her house is going to be. Well, let's go back up here and circle around and come down right on that pile of junk. So the one thing I'm finding I'm liking about the cat, you can see that I'm going through a regen right there, that yellow. It affects the performance of this machine zero. It doesn't do a thing to it. It may start throwing codes one of these days, but so far I've been happy that I haven't noticed any kind of an issue. This machine is 73 or 74 horsepower, so it's right at that limit where it doesn't require DEF fluid. And I feel like one day they'll have it all figured out. They won't give issues. I was watching Let's Dig 18 yesterday, and his TL12 through DEF code, but it continued to operate. I don't think it ever derated, so hopefully it doesn't. He can use it until the dealer can get out there to him. That'll be ideal. So this is my initial piles of junk that has to be hauled out. I've got quite a bit up top. All of that in addition to the 15 or so trees that I still have yet to take down. So, good times ahead. I promise this channel won't be just forestry mulching, but it is going to continue to be just kind of documentation of everyday work. So it'll be the fun, the exciting, the boring, all of the above. What we're in right now is super view. If it looks like a fishbowl to you, just fast forward if you don't like it. Some people don't mind, but you can see a lot more of just in general what's going on. We're getting warm in here now. We're definitely putting a hurting on this little pile of pine limbs. Out of the way. It's not heavy enough to stay put for me to be able to grind it. I prefer an excavator on a hillside like this because any of the skid steers I've ran, when you get on facing downhill, that mulching head is so heavy typically. Let me preface that with saying I've only run Fecon bullhog heads, and they look heavier than a CMAF, but they may not be. But the machine is real tipsy and you're constantly digging into the ground, and that dulls the teeth. Push that junk out the way. And if you're facing uphill, the machine and head and everything are so heavy that when you try to drive forward into material to mulch it, you lose a lot of engine power to do that. Whereas you see me, I'm sitting still, and it doesn't take, on this slope, much power to swing either way. If it's steeper, what I do is I try to position myself to where I'm grinding into material as I'm swinging downhill, not losing power. You just gotta figure out what works for you and your style of working. See, like all those pointing that way, my chain's hanging down, my guard chains. If I swing from left to right, it's just gonna push them. So what I do is I'll go from right to left the first time, and that knocks them down, and then you can swing back to the right, and that's where you get your fine chopping action. So I've got enough material. Y'all got the idea of what I'm going to spend the day doing. And there's the truck and power lines and everything. I'm just going to keep on working, and I'll check back in toward the end of the day and you guys can see what I've accomplished. All right, the sun has come out. It's proving it's going to be a beautiful day. Where that log is laying just to the right, that about 20 feet is what we started yesterday and worked on today, and we've just worked our way in. It's the same material as what you see standing there. Pretty thick. But this machine is going right through it. I would say I've got, thought I saw some hydraulic fluid dripping there a second. Nope. I got an hour and a half, 2 hours in that. So not bad. let's go ahead and cut another width and see how that turns out. Before we embark on the next step over, just want to show you guys how good a shape these teeth are staying in by keeping them out of the dark, or keeping them out of the dirt. Look how shiny. Shiny. Love it. Better move my tripod. 903.7 at 904. That head needs its every 4 hour shots of grease. I'm run down here to the truck, get my grease gun, come back. I could walk, but I've got to move this skid steer. I don't want to be pelting at it once I get to cutting all that. It's wood chips, so we'll just take it to get our grease gun. I always leave my machines parked uphill, so when it rains like it did, it'll wash the windscreen off for me. Can it really be called a windscreen on these machines? Because you really don't move fast enough to create wind. I don't know. I bet I'll get down there and won't be able to get back up on the hill, so take the lazy path and park up on top of the hill. That's what we'll do. Greased and ready to continue. For those who don't believe me when I say that this thing will cut a log just like a planer, here you go. Okay, mission success. I think we really pushed that overgrowth back. Let's walk over here just a little way. Oh yeah, isn't that pretty? So anywhere you see brown, pretty much from here down was just like all of that. extreme overgrowth. Let's see how the knives on the pecan head held up. I did get into the dirt just a couple of times, but look how shiny. That looks like it just come like I polished it, looks though. I last sharpened these teeth with a grinder and grinding wheel, and this wood is polished on so smooth. Beautiful. On the next episode, tomorrow's video, or perhaps the next day, we are going to be taking these pines down from around this house site. So I've got to get the bucket put on the excavator. This guy's ready to go. I think I'm just going to give it a couple of shots of grease. This machine hasn't been worked a lot, so since it's going to work a lot tomorrow shuttling material, I want to have some good fresh grease in it. Grease tends to dry up and just loses that lubrication, if you will. So I'm gonna get everything ready. We'll call it a day today, and we will see y'all back bright and early on the next episode. We love you guys. Thanks for watching.